Listen, but I hope you would. Gracias.
Hi everyone, I wanted to show you guys how to make this Bengali styled chicken roast, and so I'm going to teach you all how to make that today. And to do that, I have in this big wok of mine about 1.5 white onions sliced, and I've put in 3 cardamom pods and 4 whole black peppercorns and about half of a cinnamon stick that I even, like smushed up a little smaller. And I've probably put in a 1/4 teaspoon of salt so far, and I'm just cooking this down so it gets a little bit more softer. And then I'm going to add in garlic and ginger paste. While the onions are cooking down, I wanted to show you guys that I have some chicken legs and thighs that I've poked with a skewer, right? And then I coated it all with garlic and ginger paste that I made at home. And I have it over a colander so that any excess water from the chicken will drain out, because you want the chicken to be really dry when it goes into the pan. So this has been hanging out over here for about hour and a half. So it was just about a teaspoon of that garlic ginger paste with a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I just smushed it up with my hands and washed my hands later, and it's been hanging out. And once the onions get to the right color, this is gonna go into the pot. So here the onions have been cooking away now for maybe 5 or 6 minutes. And as you can see, they've released some of their water. They've softened up and gotten nice and golden along the edges. So now we're going to add in some heat. We are going to put in 2 Thai chilies and 1 dry red chili. All right, and we're going to let that cook away for a couple seconds. And it's not going to be spicy. I know for people who don't eat spice or think that chilies are hot, all these onions are kind of sweet. And then we're going to add a little bit of sugar in at a later point. And the garlic and everything just balances out the heat in this. So this will not be hot, because my children don't eat spicy food, and they can eat this pretty easily. But if you're afraid of how many chilies I've put in, I would say at least do 1 green Thai chili and 1 of the red chili peppers, because they both have different tastes that they give to the curry. So now these are cooking away, and we are going to now add in the garlic paste I had made earlier. Okay, so 1 and 2. All right, so I think that's about 1 tablespoon of paste. Yep. And so now we're going to cook this, the onions. You only really need the garlic in there for a minute just so it can kind of release its taste. And now I'm going to start putting the chicken pieces into the pan. All right, I'm going to wash my hands really well. All right, so all the chicken legs or thighs are in the pot, and now I'm going to give it a stir. They just be sitting right here. Okay, so now we have all the chicken legs and thighs into the hot pot, and I'm just going to stir it around once, and then I'm going to add some salt. I'm going to add about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt over here. And now it's just basically stirring this mixture around the pan forever. But there are going to be some other spices that I am going to add in at a later step. But let's keep stirring for now. See how as the chicken cooks, it's like roasting in its own juices, keeps getting nicer and picking up some golden color to it. Now I'm going to add some more stuff. I am now going to add in 1 tablespoon of green raisins. And that's going to give it some sweetness. And then I'm going to add in a bay leaf. Alright, so 1 bay leaf, like half a bay leaf, that's cool though. Alright, so let's put our bay leaf away. And then we're going to add in some whole cumin seeds. And this is like a big pinch, but I'm going to estimate this to be like about half a teaspoon. No, there, that's half a teaspoon. Cumin seeds, and we're going to go back to mixing this all together. Okay, now I'm going to add in some dry spices. I'm going to add in half a teaspoon of dry red chili powder. I'm going to add in half a teaspoon of cumin powder and half a teaspoon of coriander powder. And what are we going to do? We are going to go back to mixing it again. If you think half a teaspoon of red chili powder will be too much for you guys, then definitely cut it down to 1/4, but do put some of it in because it needs to be in there to get the right flavor. So don't be afraid. And if you're afraid that it's going to be too spicy when you sit down to eat it, you can have it with plain yogurt on the side, or you can have it with sour cream on the side. That tastes good. I make like that cucumber yogurt sauce called raita to go with it. So there's a whole bunch of things you can do to cool your mouth down and be brave and try something new. Now this chicken has gotten this beautiful golden pan color going for it, and now we are going to add in some more salt. We're going to add in half a teaspoon of salt. And we're going to add in like 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. And then we're going to mix this all together. And now I like to kind of steam cook the chicken. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour in a little bit of water. That's probably about a little over a quarter of a cup. And then I'm just gonna cover it and let it cook for 10 minutes and check it halfway through and turn it around. All right, it has been 5 minutes and now we're going to open up the lid and see how it looks. And we're gonna cook it until all the sauce kind of evaporates because the sauce needs to tighten up by itself. And when it does that, like more oil and juice is released from the chicken. So, yeah, it's coming along nicely. All right, it's getting close to the end of our 10 minutes. I'm gonna stir this chicken up again. All right, that's the timer for the end of the 10 minutes. Now, for those of you who don't want it to be too spicy, I would at this point just squeeze some lime in here. And then I actually also like to throw a few slices of thinly sliced limes in there. And then I would just mix it up and let it cook for 5 minutes more. Not even 5 minutes, like 2.5 more minutes. And I would serve it up. But I like it a little bit more spicier. So I'm going to add in 3 additional whole green chilies because the kids are going to eat it too. If the kids weren't eating it, I'd probably add in 10. But, and that's it. And then this dish is done and it's ready to be served. So I hope you guys try it and like it. Now, a couple of things that's different with this version of the one difference between the way the actual chicken roast is made in Bangladesh and what I've done is that I've cut down a lot on the oil or the ghee that they use, only because it's a weeknight and, you know, I didn't want to use a cup of oil to cook this. So I used about a quarter cup of canola oil to make this dish, and I used water to bring out the flavor and to also help steam cook it, and the chicken itself released its own oils, as you can see. And yeah, that and the original dish has more nuts and more steps to it, but this is just like a quick weeknight version of the dish. All right, guys, thanks for watching.